And we are live. Happy Turkey Day, everybody. Thanksgiving Day. The food is in my belly. I can barely walk. Not that I ate a lot, but I ate enough. So, what time is it? A little after 5 p.m. Eastern. That's it. No more food. Everyone's having dessert. All my in laws are out there having dessert. I can't pack anything else in. I had all the food I could eat with a gallon of gravy. I'm done. I'm just going to chill out. Willie, happy Thanksgiving, buddy. I'm just going to chill out, hopefully talk to you guys for a little bit. I enjoyed Matt's 30 to 60 mile an hour winds outside. So everything I basically picked up blew right back. So anyway, it was fun. I have a wireless set of headphones. I bought a pair of those WorkTunes, the Bluetooth WorkTunes. I've had them for a while, but I bought another set because they were on sale at Amazon last week. But they're great. They're Bluetooth. They work with your phone. I could listen to YouTube, Maddie, and all you guys, and while I'm working outside. James, how are you, buddy? I was thinking about you too tonight. Prayers go out to you. Hope everything is good. I was actually thinking about you, James, with the gravy, because I know gravy can go through a tube. So anyway, just full. I really didn't eat anything until about an hour or so ago. We were cooking everything, and I'm the gravy guy. That's why I met today. I was joking about not liking gravy. I was like, what? Who doesn't like gravy? Go back to Russia if you don't like gravy. Anyway, I am the gravy guy. So when everything is all said and done, the turkey's sat for an hour or so, getting nice and juicy. The food's getting ready to be served. We start out with my wife's family's Italian, so they have to start out with antipasto and then pasta and all that stuff. And while they're eating all that stuff, I'm making the gravy. So all the drippings and everything out of the pan, throw it into a pot. I take all the oil off of the top with a spoon till it's clear liquid or, translucent. Then I mix up my flour and water, stir it in on high, and just keep going for like an hour, a little under an hour. And it turns out primo. So what do you got, Willie? I bought a box full of Amsoil gear oil. 20%. Cool. Yeah, a buddy of mine, Napa, got me a case of Brake Clean for half off. So I thought that was pretty good. I go through that stuff pretty quick. Enjoy those. So tomorrow, Advance Auto, those of you that are subscribers on Advance Auto, 25% off Black Friday. Good deal. You buy your stuff online, pick it up in the store, 25% off. It's a good deal. I always wait till I get the coupons before I buy auto parts. I got to get a water pump for the wife's Jeep. So hopefully I can use that coupon tomorrow. I don't know about you, but I'm not the type of guy that goes out at midnight for these Black Friday deals. I got too much to do. But my sister-in-law who's here, she'll probably be in the stores at midnight tonight to pick up whatever deals are out there. But anyway, I was at Walmart this morning, and it was funny because now they have the rule in Connecticut here, they don't give you a bag unless you pay 10 cents. Just another way for the crooks that run the state to get more money. Anyway, 10 cents a bag if you want a bag. So I never take a bag. I just take the cart out to my truck and dump all the stuff in my truck. Anyway, I got there early in the morning. There was nobody there. And I probably had 10 or 12 things in my, oil and stuff I need, shaving stuff, things like that. And so I go out front. It's about 7:15. I paid for all the stuff in the back of the store because I wasn't waiting lines in the front of the store. So I paid for stuff in the back because there's nobody there. I go out and there's a guy there, the greeter guy. Now that there's no bags, he's got to check your receipt, make sure everything's in your cart. And I said to the guy, I feel for you. He goes, yeah. He goes, you think it's bad now? He says, wait till there's a million people in here. He's got to check all the items and all the carts because now there's no bags and you don't know what people are stealing. So I feel for that guy. Wisconsin, actually, James, the Wisconsin motors I worked on are the ones that were in. There was a tractor built about 6-7 miles away from where I live called a Baird Beaver. It was made by U.S. Baird Corporation in Stratford, Connecticut. Baird Beaver. They were made from, I believe, 59, maybe 58 to 62, I believe it was. So like 4 or 5 years of build. They had Wisconsin engines, big shrouds. They're copper color. And I've worked on Wisconsin. I've done a couple of the twins. I've done some singles, mostly the big singles that were on the Baird Beavers. Good engines, very solid engines. A lot of use on generators. You see a lot of Wisconsin engines. I've seen them on some Boland's tractors. The U.S. Baird Beavers, of course. You don't see a lot of them anymore. What was cool is they had a real big serial tag on them that said Wisconsin. It just really cool graphics. It was really cool. But good motors, definitely good motors. But this morning, I was telling Maddie and the guys that were on Maddie's channel earlier today, I dropped off a backpack blower at a customer of mine, a couple of young ladies, real nice people. And she had a 136 that didn't have a chain brake on it. I mentioned it in one of my videos. I think her father had tried to play with the saw and ended up dismantling and taking all the guts out of the chain brake. And I told her, I said, look, I can fix the saw, but by law, technically, you're not supposed to defeat any safety devices on a saw or on any type of power equipment. So I said, and I wouldn't fix it if the brake wasn't working for fear of, you girls getting hurt. And I told her, I said, I can get a NOS brake from Husky for like $30. That would work fine. The Chinese ones, I've seen them $5 to $12. 99% of the Chinese brake assemblies for the smaller Poulan Husky saws, they're garbage. They'll break after the first activation. So I would have bought a stock one. So I said to her, I said, probably, $25 to change the fuel lines and everything. And then another $30, $55. And I said, the saw's not worth that. So she ends up, selling it to me real cheap. Very cheap. So another part saw, my fourth one this year for the one. Actually, it works. It'll definitely get to work, but it needs a chain brake, the flag, and it needs all the guts. Oh, what else we got here? Willie. Saving up money. Lower mileage Buick. These brake lines. So what kind of Buick, Willie? Like a LeSabre or a Park Ave or something? Vermeer. Is it a twin, James? The twin cylinder Wisconsin or the single? Because Vermeer with the Wisconsin, it might be the older twin, the vertical twin Wisconsin. Because the older ones had magnetos too. A lot of times the magnetos would lose their magnetism a little bit and they wouldn't spark. The ones that had points, file the points and see if that's it too. Most of the time it's not spark, but I know the older ones. Yeah, the older twins. Is it magneto though, James? Because the magneto ones you got to watch because sometimes if you lose the magnetism a little bit or it's failing. 77, that's points. It should have points. I would say check the points. If you can, I know sometimes it's tough to get access to those things. Let's see, 1992 Sabre 3 blah blah. Oh yeah, the 3.8. That thing, yeah, definitely. And 3.8 liter is 1 gallon. If you didn't know that. So anyway, yeah, let's say my father had a Park Ave, the last car you buy. So anyway, can you guys still see me? I just got a note saying connection like lousy. Huh, interesting. Yeah, the twin Wisconsins are cool. You see a lot of them on generators. A lot of the older generators and light, they call them light plants. They would have like light bulbs on them and stuff like that in the Army. The Army had tons of Wisconsin generators, a ton of them. But I'm thinking 77, everything went electronic ignition in the 80s. So 77 would definitely still have points or, points with the magneto. But definitely I've seen problems with magnetos. They lose their magnetism after sitting. But if it's been used once in a while, especially Vermeer, that's something that probably gets used a lot. Vermeer's a great company. I love Vermeer equipment. Expensive, but very, very well-made equipment, What else? I end up buying one of these trimmers today. WAHL, Wall brand. Get a little touch up so I look good for the holidays, I usually go to my barber. He's, 1942, 77 years old from Italy. Really, really cool guy. He's about 10 miles from here. I'm buffering. Sorry about that, guys. It shows I got about 3 or 4 bars out of 5. So I'll move a little closer to the door. Maybe get better signal. Anyway, I got the door shut because I don't want to disturb my in-laws having their dessert. But what else? Tomorrow's going to be a busy day. Today, I was hoping to get to a few customers, pick up equipment so I could work on it tomorrow. People told me they were going to be home, so I texted and called people. Nobody answered. So it's going to be a busy day tomorrow. I got 2 or 3 chainsaws, some snow blowers, some leaf blowers. I actually put an ad on Facebook only with dads in our area have their own like dad's thing on Facebook. So I put a little ad in there, say, service your equipment, been doing it, long time resident, yada, yada. See what happens. Am I still buffering? I hope not. 20 horse V Twin Wisconsin marketplace. Yeah. Yep. You don't see too many of those. That's for sure. 18 horsepower parallel. Yeah. 400. I don't know. Tough to get parts for, though. That's the only thing with Wisconsin's. Although Vermeer may have some stock on stuff, if it was for one of their pieces of equipment, you may get lucky if you're servicing something with a name brand like Vermeer, But yeah, like I said, I went there earlier today, and it wasn't too windy today. It was very warm today. I'm surprised. Here in Connecticut, southern Connecticut, it's 50 degrees today. The wind was chilly. It was a chilly wind, probably 30 plus miles an hour, but it was warm. It was a beautiful day. And tomorrow's supposed to be a nice day. Now they're talking. Here's the catch. Sunday, Monday, snow. So we'll see. The thing is, once we get the first snow here, I'm going to be mobbed with snow equipment. So I'm hoping to get all the leaves done. But the problem is, today's the day with all the wind that we had, the leaves are coming off the trees. I still had Japanese maples and dogwoods that just still didn't shed their leaves. So today, most of those have come down. It was very, very windy today. So hopefully those will all be done. Yeah, I got no Wisconsin guy. Anywho, what else is going on? That generator I picked up last Friday, a week ago Friday, from one of my customers that was popping out the intake. I'd love to take the head off that this weekend and show you guys what's going on with that. There's got to be either a head gasket, a blown seat, burnt valve, something allowing it to pop through the intake at the same time it's popping through the exhaust. So I'd like to get something going on that. In fact, when I was at Walmart this morning, I was looking at the laptops that they had, cheap laptops. If I can get a decent one, I can start editing videos and doing good video things. I still have a tachometer, guys. The offer still stands. When I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll give it away. But right now, I don't know what I'm at, 148, 149, something like that. It's going slow, and I think it's because of content. I have to get some more content out there, some more bolt for bolt fix-it videos. And like I said, I have to get a good PC so that I can, do 4 or 5 hours and edit it down to half hour, whatever. So we'll see. The owner of Vermeer, Indiana. Oh, wonderful. Beautiful. Yeah, Vermeer. I love Vermeer. They're great. 143. Yeah, it goes up and down. It's crazy, Willie. Last week, I think I was up to 148. I don't know. Do I suck that bad sometimes and then people get rid of me? I don't know. But we'll see. Like I said, I tell people to email me, Ken Small Engines at AOL. Tell me what kind of content you want and what you want to see. If there's something I'm working on, because I work on everything, I'll gladly show you. I'll see if I have something laying around I can show you. Matty did his toolbox tour today. I did that a few months ago. I can probably do another one of those this weekend. The shop, it's getting cleaner. I mean, it's not really clean, but it's clean enough where I'm able to work on stuff now. The garage is enough where I can fit 5 or 6 pieces of equipment in there, got them at one time. So that's not too bad either. I picked up an Aaron snow thrower a few weeks ago. There's another Aaron's that the guy wants to sell me tomorrow for $100, which is an older one from, I think, 73 that just needs the carb cleaned or something. I may pick that up. It's nice to have the machine so when the snow starts and people call, oh, do you have anything? It's nice to have 1 or 2 machines around that you can sell, and turn around and make a few bucks, especially once the first snow hits, that's when the phone starts ringing. Oh, do you have this? Do you have that? Or, my pull cord broke, or my starter's not working, or it's not throwing, or whatever. So, yeah, it usually takes the first snow to get the phones ringing, or the emails coming, or the texts coming. So, Sunday, Monday of this week, if it snows, I'm going to be busy. So, anywho, what else is going on? Just you 2 guys, Willie and James? That's okay. It says 3, so maybe it's you 2 and me, or somebody else lurking. Somebody may be lurking. We'll see. What else? What else is going on? I'm trying to think. Might do a video. Which engine I should put in my Craftsman? Vanguard. Is the Vanguard a twin? Willie, or is it just a Vanguard single? The opposed twin, for some reason, years ago when I started working on these things, I had a heck of a time with the opposed twins carburetor. Now that I have ultrasonic and things like that, I probably wouldn't have the problem. Um, Three snows already? Yeah. I mean, we have had flurries where you could see it in the air, but nothing that accumulated on the ground. So it hasn't been too bad here. Uh, but Willie, if you had a chance to get a Vanguard V-twin, ooh, I love those. Those are phenomenal. And even the Vanguard singles, they're not bad. The opposed twin, I mean, yeah, they're okay, but just if you don't know how to work on the carburetor or you have a bad carburetor, it can be funky. 90% of the time, people will call me, oh, got to run it with choke, got to run it on the choke because there's dirt in it. So, and now that I have the ultrasonic, okay, I can clean anything, so it's not too bad. So, let me see. What type of Craftsman? What is it? What is it, Willie? You mean like a tractor? Is it a tractor or what do you put it in? A lawn tractor or something? I tell people all the time, go online and type in Craftsman vendor prefix, the 3-digit prefix, and you can look and see who made the Craftsman product. The 917 is AYP, and 356 is usually like Roper, I think, and MTD is like 258. You get to know the nomenclature after a while. 1990, ooh, the silver ones. Yeah, that was the year I bought my house. I never forget those. I still have the push mower I bought in 1990. That was the year where everything had a silver color and red and black stripes. Yeah, I remember 1990. Good year. They had, I believe those tractors had the Cyclops headlight, the single Cyclops headlight on those. Yeah, 1990. It was a pretty good year. Not too bad. Let's see. 18 horsepower Vanguard. I'll be honest with you. The Briggs has more torque. If you're pulling something or doing something, we really need the power. The twin will give you more power, but reliability and even less noise would probably be the Vanguard, to be honest with you. I just like the Vanguard. I think the Vanguard's a good engine. That was like one of their first overhead valves. I like that engine. I like the design of it, but especially horizontal shaft, But yeah, because Vanguard, especially the Vanguard V twins, are phenomenal. They put those in everything now, old Ingersolls and other stuff like that. Pretty cool. As far as opposed twin cars, come on, fight to work good. Yeah, the ones that have the adjusters are great. But the thing is, you got to make sure they're clean inside. The ones that have never been worked on and all that stuff, at a high-speed jet drain plug. Yeah, okay, you could do that too. Yep, I've done that on some older Walbros that had fixed jets. I put the the Briggs adjustable needle on those and stuff like that. I visit Brian Miller's site a lot. I bought a lot of things from him. I've bought parts from him too. Everyone's coming to James, best of luck. Prayers go out to you. I will definitely keep you in mind. I will take care of Mr. Olson and fill in for you. Like I said, best of luck, everyone out there. Say your prayers for Mr. James. We wish you well, my friend. Take care of yourself. I will definitely answer the phone if you call, Jim. All right. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Let's see. Transparent gasoline, Vanguard, Memory. Yeah, I said I like Vanguard. They're simple and they run great and they sound good. And never have a problem with them. Where are you from, Willie? Where are you out of? I think I probably know, but I just forgot because there's so many people that come on here and talk to me. I'm in Trumbull, Connecticut, next to Bridgeport, next to Easton, next to Fairfield, next to Bridgeport, Fairfield, Easton, and Stratford. Those are the towns I border. Trumbull, Connecticut. Horses, how you doing, buddy? A lot of live streams. I don't chime in a lot to them, but I do watch them. Horses, I've seen you on there. Northeast. I'm trying to think. Northeast PA. Okay. Northeast. So you're on like what, the New York border up there? Northeast. I love Pennsylvania. The rolling hills. I used to drag race out there at Maple Grove Raceway in Moulton, Pennsylvania, outside of Reading. I love Pennsylvania. The rolling hills. Oh, love that. Okay. From Scranton. The Office. Gotta love Scranton. But yeah, Pennsylvania. I've always had that. Used to take my kids all the time out to Pennsylvania to the Railroad Museum. We love trains, and every year we take the kids out there to see the trains at the Pennsylvania Railroad Museum, and visit Amish country and stuff like that. But love trains, love Pennsylvania. Great state. What do you got working, horses? Anything good? Anything going on? Happy Thanksgiving to you and to all the rest of you, if I haven't said so already. I'm done eating. my wife and kids got up early to start. I was working on equipment this morning, delivering some things. I got a 136 for next to nothing money wise donated to me. I got about 4 of them now. I don't know why. They call them Pulanskis because of the husky and Pulan. So we'll see. Grandpa gave me a dial indicator. Cool. You know what I do with those horses with the dial indicator? How long is the stem on it? Is it a 1-inch stroke or a 2-inch stroke? Because you can check for compression release in Kohler engines and other engines that have the exhaust valve under the spark plug. You can actually put the intake or exhaust, whichever one opens. You put the dial indicator in the spark plug hole and you rotate the engine, and you could see the bump when the compression release comes on. So you can verify in an engine if a compression release is working. That's what's nice about mag base indicators. You can buy indicator tips that go on the end, and I bought some that were like 6-7 inches long. So I position it on the engine, stick it in the hole, and I measure the valve going up and down to see if the compression release is working. It works really well. We worked. GM. I've been in a few GM plants. I worked as a machine designer for a few companies, and we were up in Bay City, Michigan, with a plant that did back then they called them the Gen 5 engines for GM before they came out with the LS series back in the mid 90s. It was the last version of the small block Chevy. They called it the Gen 5, I think. And we made machines that deburred their camshafts. And I toured their plant. Pretty wild up there. What was cool in Michigan back in 1995, you would go up there. There were no foreign cars. If you had a foreign car, they'd burn it. You had to have an American car, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh, let me see. Caught 44, go through Moscow, one of my videos. Ground shaking. Wow. Yeah, 484 is a big one. 4 trailing, 8, and then 4, or 4 leading, 8, and then 4 trailing. Pretty cool. The one I saw, which is the best, it wasn't there, though. It was Midwest. I was doing some business out there. I saw a UP Challenger, the biggest ones they ever made, which is like a 4.888.4, whatever. Oh, unbelievable. But my favorite, though, I have 2 favorites when it comes to trains because I love trains. The old Southern Pacific Daylight with the orange and red looking paint scheme. I love the Daylight scheme. And then any of the F3 or E5 diesels, when the diesels came out in the mid 50s with those paint schemes like the Santa Fe War Bonnet scheme. Another one of my favorites, Santa Fe War Bonnet. Love that stuff. It just brings back good memories, especially Christmas time with Lionel trains and things like that. I've got a whole closet full of Lionel trains that I've been collecting since I was a kid. Whenever I can afford and I see them, I pick them up. I like them. Article on Facebook: GM is taking. Yeah, I heard that too. Fiat Chrysler's not doing too good, although their trucks and their Challenger are doing phenomenal as far as sales go. I see them all over the place here. Every other truck I see here is one of those Dodge. Or no, now they're called Ram, not Dodge. They're called Ram. It's still part of Fiat Chrysler, but now the division is called Ram, not Dodge Ram. So you see tons of those around. Yeah, Fiat Chrysler is just since Marconi passed away and all that stuff. That they're not being run well, and it's I don't know, and they're getting threatened to be bought out too by either VW or one of the foreign companies is talking about buying them out. So we'll see. I mean, hey, look, Fiat, was one of the ones, an Italian motor company that bought them initially. We'll see. And it used to be Mercedes. My 2008 Jeep, the interior looks like the inside of a Mercedes because that's when Daimler, which is Mercedes, owned Chrysler. So. And now that Fiat owns them, all the interiors and things, they've got things that resemble Fiat type parts. So love to see the engine with cylinders turning, cranking gears. Can't remember, makes sense. Yeah, it's funny. I've been watching. There's a channel on cable in my area called RFD. I forget what it stands for. It's like a farming channel, but there's not a lot of farming in my area, but the channel is available, and they have tractor pulls and things like that. They actually have a locomotive restoration show that comes on once in a while, and I watch that and I love it. Doing the boilers, truing up the wheels, and all that stuff. Really, really cool stuff. You know. Lee Iacocca. It's funny you talk about Lee Iacocca, a guy that is one of my vendors who supplies me, I'm not going to say with what, was friends with Lee Iacocca. And he told me some stories that would blow your mind, especially when the Statue of Liberty project took place. And he was the project manager and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into it, but this guy's in his late 70s, early 80s, and he could tell some stories. I mean, back then, Iacocca, hey, he saved Chrysler with the K car, the Reliant and the Aries and all that stuff, and the minivan, all under him. But if you read some of the books about him, there's good and there's bad. So all I have to say is read some of the books and make your own opinion. But read some of the stuff about him. It's very, very interesting. I mean, he was a legend, that's for sure. But read about it. Has anyone seen the Ford versus Ferrari movie? I hear it's phenomenal. I'd love to go see that thing. Sounds like a cool story about Shelby and all that when they kicked Ferrari's butt with the GT. But looks like a real good movie. But I think you got to see it in like IMAX or something to get the full effect. But it sounds like a great movie. I could take one of my kids to go see that. What else? What else is left? I'm trying to think. This time of year, Christmas Vacation is on TV a lot. I love that movie. Now everybody's playing the Christmas carols. So from now until the end of the year, you're going to hear Christmas carols. What killed me was I went into Home Depot and Lowe's in September, and they had Christmas trees, and I was like, "What?" That was just a little too early, And about 3 or 4 years ago, we had snow on Halloween, so that was kind of weird too. But this year's funny. I mean, we've had days last week in the 60s, and then we had a day this week. It went down to below freezing, so it's just crazy, crazy weather. And today, nice and warm, 50 with 30, 40 mile an hour winds. So we'll see. My area shares the weather with my good friend Craig Timmons, brother Craig. Visit his channel, Craig Timmons. A lot of great videos. Usually if he gets bad weather one day, I get it the next. He's in Ohio and I'm here in Connecticut. So I usually get what he has the day before. It was pretty good. A few things that weren't quite accurate. Okay. All right. Well, it's Hollywood, right? You got to make it worth it. But I hear Christian Bale was phenomenal playing the driver. I hear he was just unbelievable. Yeah, I'm sure they had to make it, a little more enticing for the audience. But it just looked, I mean, the sad thing is when you see these movies, the trailer and what you see on the commercial are usually the best parts of the movie. And then when you get to the movie, you're like, the rest is filler. But I heard it kept your attention is what I'm hearing. I hear it was pretty good. It's always good when when America triumphs, especially Carroll Shelby, and Ford. So I'm looking forward to that. What's everybody working on? You working on anything right now? Horses? Anything in the stable that you got going? Any wheel horses that you got building? I know some of my other subscribers, Boneyard and some of the other guys. Boneyard's got a custom tractor he's building, and some of the other guys have some cool stuff. Coworker here, my best friend that I talk about here, my friend Rich. He phenomenal builder, welder, fabricator extraordinaire, can build anything. He can't stand holiday music. And the other day we were going to breakfast and he hit the wrong button on his Sirius or whatever the satellite radio was, and holiday music came up. And oh my God, he let it play though, because he knew I liked it, but I could just see he was cringing just listening to it. So usually it's like hair metal or 70s music, but he let me listen to the Christmas music. See, I'm a nut when it comes to Christmas music. The reason I like it, and I'll be honest with you guys, it puts me in a good mood, reminds me of a time when I was a young child here in Connecticut where we got a lot of nice snow during the holidays, days off from school, Christmas vacation. It just reminds me of a better time. And that's why I like it. And I'll play it in the summertime. I don't care. I don't care what the weather, what the temperature, what the month. It sets me back where I didn't have to worry about bills. I didn't have to worry about anything. Just have fun, be nice to people. They'll be nice to you. Just have fun. And it's the way it should be. That's why, Buckin's always saying, karma and be nice and all that. And he's right. And the Christmas music brings me back to that time. And that's why I like it, something in the stable. Custom. What's custom about it, Horse? Do you visit Vin's RJ? I know he does a few custom things with the wheel horses, and he's actually only about 25 miles from me. I met him at the Zagre Farm Show here in Connecticut, the one that was in October, I believe. I actually met him. Nice guy. He does some real nice work too. He really does. Wheel horse is really popular around here. Oh, you talk about wheel horses. My buddy Myron, God bless him. He's going to be what do they call it? He's going to be a non-genarian next year. Going to hit the old 9-0. Thumbs up to him because I love him dearly. He's got a horse, a wheel horse. It's a Bronco 14, and I haven't seen too many of those. It runs great. It's got a hydraulic lift. It's got original wheel horse tires that say wheel horse on them with limited tracking. And like I said, it runs good, hydraulic, all that stuff. And he only wanted $200 for it. So if I had space in my garage, I'd buy it. But if anyone's looking for a wheel horse cheap, my buddy Myron's got a Bronco 14 that runs great with a hydraulic lift. Really nice. And this one's not the lift with the little lever on the left. It's actually got a lever coming off the right side of the dash to pull. So I've never seen that before. I thought all the wheel horses with the hydro lifts had the little lever on the left. This one actually has a lever going through and up the dash. So pretty cool. Never seen that before. Willie, Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I saw them Sunday night, this past Sunday. My gift to my family was front row seats to Trans-Siberian Orchestra at the Hartford XL Center. Paid a lot of money for them from one of these ticket places. But I tell you, if you have the opportunity to see them, unbelievable. Especially if you like 80s, like hair band type guitaring and stuff like that. Unbelievable show. I'll go again. I mean, I don't know if I'll pay the kind of money I paid for front row seats, but having front row center for that band, unbelievable. I recommend it to anyone. It was their Christmas show. They were going around to about 60 or 70 cities this tour, and it's just Trans-Siberian. Thumbs up. They are phenomenal. They grab local artisans to play their string section everywhere they go, and phenomenal. Just phenomenal. I can't say enough about the show. It was just a wonderful show. The smile on my kid's face, it made it worthwhile. My daughter had been asking me for 10 years, can I go? And I just said to myself last week, you know what? I'm at a good point in my life right now. The small engine business, things like that, work. I'm gonna spend it. I'm gonna do it, and it was worth every cent. And I would recommend it. At least, bucket list, I would recommend it. Yeah, those are turf, but it's cool. I'd never seen the tires that said wheel horse on them before. Oh, and it has factory hubcaps, and they're in nice shape. So I said to him, Ma, you want to get rid of this tractor for $200? You got hubcaps that sell for $100. You got a full hydraulic system that usually goes for $200 or $300. Okay, and, hydro and all that. Engine runs great, 14 horse. Thought it was a good deal. Christmas. What they told us in this show was every year it's a different Christmas story. Each story is about 7 to 9 vignettes that talk about something about Christmas. And the show that they did last Sunday was a show they hadn't done in 21 years. They started 21 years ago in 1998. This was the first time they've repeated that show. And it was just phenomenal. That whole series of vignettes took an hour and a half. And then when they were done with that, the lights went down, and he comes back up. Now, literally, we were front row. We were literally 5 feet away from them. The guy came out, and you could touch him. I mean, we were that close. And he's, hey, how you doing? This and that. We're like, hey, good. He goes, you ready for the second half of the show? We're like, there's a second half? We thought that was it. There was another 2 hours. It was unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Wheel horse 416/8 parts. How similar is the 416 to like a 316/8? What's the difference? Like rounder fenders? I love the 3 series, like the 312/8, 316/8, 314/8. I'm very familiar with those, but not too familiar with the 4 series. Barely sit above the hood. Okay. Beethoven. Da 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 da. Anyhow, yeah, it's just a great time of year. Hold on one second, guys. I'm going to start looking at some more of the comments. Hold on. Horses. 23, 10 and a half, 12s. Good tires. Lowered 4 inch of ground clearance. Ooh, swept forward axle. Are you going to race it, horse? Are you going to pull with it? What are you doing with it? I'm assuming you got to be pulling with it if you're doing that with the axle forward and all that stuff. Yeah, this one, Willie, you saw the Christmas at a concert. This one, they just said 2019 Christmas is all they said. But it was just phenomenal. I'll never forget after I got the tickets, my daughter, I told her I had tickets and she goes, "Oh, where'd you get it?" And I was like, "Oh, section 2." And she looked at section 2 and she's like, "That's on the floor." And I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "What row?" A. And her eyes lit up and it was front row center, literally front row center. If the stage center was here, we had my wife and my one daughter, and then me and my other daughter, and the center stage was right in between us. And to the right of my daughter was an empty seat because that's the seat that their photographer used. And he was back and forth taking shots all the time. So it was phenomenal. Just wonderful, wonderful concert. Wonderful. I could have swear when I looked at the two lead guitar players that I'd known them from some hair band from years ago, but just phenomenal. And the women and the men, the singers, there were like 10 of those, 5 and 5, phenomenal. Just the voices, I recommend Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Go see them. Just phenomenal. Custom Cruiser, that ought to be cool. Diesel would be nice. I've got a guy here who's got a Lombardini diesel, the old Briggs Lombardini diesel from years ago. He found one of those. I see them online too, where you can get the knockoff diesel single cylinders for like $400. I think they're 16 or 18 horsepower single cylinder diesels. I see those. I see people using them in tractors and in snow throwers. I frequent the snowblower forum. If anyone's into snowblowers or looking for help on snowblowers, go to snowblowerforum.com. It's a great site for snowblower information, no matter what brand you have. Scott, who runs it, great guy. It's a good website, Snowblower Forum. Also OPE, Outdoor Power Equipment. If you go to OPE.com, another great website, just like Arborist site or any of the other ones, are really good forums to learn and get information on. If you're looking for information on a saw that you have and you want to know something about it, go to Mike Akers' site, which is AkersNet, ACRESNET, AkersNet. His website has all technical information on every saw made. You can see the size of it, what carb it should have, timing numbers, things like that. Pretty interesting. Yeah. Next time you do do you have it in videos right now, horses? If I did a search on your channel, would you have some pics of that? I do frequent you, and I see some of your live things, but I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen that tractor, because I'll go and take a look, But anyway, series of different front spindles, bigger front tires. Okay. Are the front tires the standard 16 6.5 8s, horses? Because I know that's usually what separates lawn tractors from garden tractors. Is the garden tractors have 16 6.5 8 tires. That's how you know it's a garden tractor versus a lawn tractor. Battery's failing, Willie. Hey, if you gotta go, you gotta go, Willie. Thank you for stopping. I appreciate it, and happy Thanksgiving. And hopefully we'll see you soon. And hopefully I'll get some more content on that you guys can check out. But all right, I think I've exhausted my my talk for tonight. Glad to see you guys on here. It's been about 40 minutes, so I think I'm going to take off and join the rest of the family for Thanksgiving dessert. So we will see. 13%. That's okay. My Chromebook here, I got about 2 or 3. I tell you, if you guys want to buy something cheap to look at YouTube videos and you don't have a lot of money, a Chromebook, $150, and the battery lasts 10 hours. It's ridiculous. Oh, see, now I gotta stay on for a few minutes because there's Matt Olson. Now I gotta stay on. Now I can't go because Matt's here. All right. How was Thanksgiving, Matt? Pies work out well? Everything work out good? Yeah, 16 6.5 8 horse. That is what is a true garden tractor front tire. 16 6.5 8. Anything smaller, it's a lawn tractor. So change out the pulley on the MTD. The drive pulley, Matt. The one you having problems with that? The drive pulley, right? The one that the one that goes to the rear end, or the double pulleys does the rear end and the deck? Which one? It was funny, Matt. I'm listening to your live stream today while I'm riding my rear engine. I've got a what is it? The Snapper rear engine rider. Oh, tensioner pulley. Okay. A Snapper rear engine rider, which I love. I got from one of my customers, fairly inexpensive, but it has a great deck called a high lift deck, and it sucks up acorns or whatever's on the ground. So I'm trying to do it today, and all of a sudden I started. Not 2 seconds after I started, the wind kicked up. I don't know about up there, Maddie, but we had up to 60-mile-an-hour winds here. It was nuts. I picked up every single leaf in my yard, and 10 minutes later, it looked like I hadn't even been out there. And that's when I decided, that's it, I'm going in. So, I mean, I got a bunch of them, but, hopefully all the trees will be down when I walk out there tomorrow morning. Yeah, the barn. Yeah, you got to replace it all, man. So many people make the mistake. They think the pulley's bad, and then the pulley's at an angle, and then you start cutting belts and stuff like that. Yeah, you got to replace it all, Yeah, the shoulder bolt and even the pad sometimes where the shoulder bolt rests, if it starts to wear or something like that, it's crazy. It's going to be 10. 10 and 15 is pretty good. Pretty good. There's guys around here that do that lawnmower racing, that stable series, the lawnmower stuff. And I know they can get them up to 45 miles an hour. But to me, that's scary. I mean, I've done about 25 on a tractor before when I modified one. It's scary, especially if you don't have the deck on it. What most people do is, and when you do racing with them, you have to have the deck on with no blades, and the deck itself acts as like training wheels. So when you go around a corner, most times the deck will keep you from tipping over, but scary. You're on a garden or a lawn tractor and you're doing 15, 20 miles an hour. It's like when you're in a boat. You're in a boat doing 30, 40 miles an hour. It feels like 90 miles an hour. It's all about perception because there's no windshield. There's no relevance on the side of you like windows or a windshield. It's all open. So it's scary. Yeah, I mean, faster is okay, depending on what you're doing. But most time, Maddie, when you go faster, the grass doesn't cut. It folds over and then flips back, and it looks like you haven't cut it. So most people, they want to go for speed, but depending on how your blades and your deck is, you have to do a certain speed in order to get the grass fully cut. That's what most people don't realize. They figure faster is better. No, faster's faster. It doesn't necessarily mean better. Most of the time, depending on some of the decks, the grass will fold over and then flip back, and it just won't cut because you're going too fast. Yeah, but even with sharper blades, the grass folds over and then it's not enough time to come up and get cut. Depending on if the grass is fully dry or if there's a little bit of moisture. If it's a little wet at all, it will not come up and it won't cut, and you'll get a crappy cut. Pull behind's okay. I welded up a few of those with a friend of mine who was a welder. I had some old Cub Cadet decks laying around, and we welded on some small frames to have them as pull behinds because they didn't have the subframe or the mule drive set up to run the decks underneath in the middle. So we made them pull. In fact, some of them we made front too, like you have on Ventrax and some of those where you actually mount it out front. And sometimes you can use the lift to lift and lower it. But some people like having the mower deck out in front so they can just go in and out and do things like that. That's cool too. Yeah, the tip speed. Oh, I'm trying to think. 13,000 feet per minute or 11,000, or is it 1,500 feet per second? I'm trying to think of the number. I used to know it by heart because that determines what RPM you run your engine at. People think 3,600 is the standard RPM for any small engine. It's not. The engine governs speed, if it's a mower, is based on the velocity of the blade tips. So if you have a 21-inch blade, a 20-inch blade, a 19-inch blade, the RPMs are different for all three engines because the feet per second velocity is a mandate from the Outdoor Power Equipment, OPEI, Outdoor Power Equipment Industry Association. They dictate what the speed. I'm trying to think. Is it 1,500 feet per second? I'm trying to think. 1,500 times 6. I thought it was something like 13,000 feet per minute. I'm trying to think what the number is. Do I have my phone here? I could check it out. Huh. Somebody look it up, but I thought it was like 13,000 feet per minute or 17,000 feet per minute. But yeah, any blade you have. That's why people with tractors, you got to watch too, because some tractors have very small blades. And that's why you have these big and small pulleys on the blades, especially when you see the tractor mower decks that have really tiny pulleys. Yeah, it's because your blade is only this big, and to spin it that fast, okay, you have to have a bigger pulley to spin it faster and a smaller pulley to spin it slower. So interesting. But yeah, most people think 3,600 is the magic number for mowers. And usually it's a magic number so you don't blow an engine, but it's not the magic number to set your blade speed, especially if it's a walk behind push mower that's directly connected to the crankshaft. Then whatever the feet per minute spec or feet per second spec is, you have to do the math and calculate it. So it was funny, Matt. You were talking about your grandfather, and it was ironic because you go, oh, yeah, 364th. And I'm thinking, yeah, 046875. I'm like, that's how I grew up, Matt. When I went into engineering school, mechanical engineering and all that stuff, we had to memorize all that. We had to know all the decimal places. We had to know all the different things, 16th, 0625, 332nd, 09375, 532nd, 15625. We had to know all that in our minds. We couldn't, figure it out. I mean, we had our stare at drill charts in our pocket. So if we had to, we could cheat and go like that. But when we were learning it in the shop, the instructor would always say, Mr. Wyman, 532nd, or Mr. So-and-so, 764, 716ths, And what's cool about it is even today, metric versus English, for example, 716ths, 0.4375. You say, okay, 4375, a millimeter is 40 thousandths. So 40 thousandths times 10 is 400 thousandths, times 11 is 440 thousandths. So 716ths and 11 millimeters is about the same. And someone like me who's got the mechanical engineering background, I'm always doing that math in my head, like, oh, what size is that bolt? And I'll put the, metric English and I'll do the math. It's just, yeah, it's faster just to know it. It's just, but I love it though. It's funny. I mean, there's a website, I don't know if you've ever seen it, Matt, and I get emails every day called Curiosity, and it's all about knowledge and keeping your brain busy and puzzles and things like that. It's called Curiosity. It's a really cool thing. If you subscribe to it, they give you different brain teasers every day. And I subscribe and I love it. Just to, today they did a thing where you had to do, what was it? Trigonometry. There was a trig problem or something. I'm sitting there and I just love that stuff, All right, Willie, take care. Again, have a great holiday. Thank you for stopping by. I'll check out hopefully some of your stuff soon. And like I said, take care, be safe, have a great rest of the holiday, and we'll talk to you soon. What else is going on, Mr. Olson? You doing pie and coffee yet, or what? It's about, 6 o'clock? My in-laws are out there now finishing up their pie and coffee. I'll probably join them in a few minutes. What I loved about today, I don't know about you, Matt, but I love apple cider. Love it. And I'll be honest, I probably did too much today. I drank a half a gallon already. I love cold apple cider. I just love it. I just love it. But hey, question: the saw you had today, Maddie, that was somebody's saw, or what? Well, yeah. See, if I can't do that with the blood work and stuff I've been getting done, Matt, since July. All that stuff with my blood testing and stuff, I can't. They don't want me to drink alcohol, so I just coffee I can do. Love coffee, but I'm trying to stay away from alcohol. I just want to get my my levels right before I do that. Roast chicken. Wait, don't tell me no turkey. I know you don't like the gravy, but no turkey today? Come on. I love roast chicken, don't get me wrong, but no turkey on Turkey Day? Come on. I could see maybe Cornish hens if you wanted to get exotic. Steve. Oh, okay. The one today, was that the one with the little leak on the bottom? The one that you ground everything down with the Dremel or whatever to make sure it was flat and sealing with the 1184. I'm trying to think. You've been doing so many of those lately. I lost track of which one was which. Yeah, tomorrow. It's going to be a nice weekend for me. I'm hoping to get back into some saws, the Baselisk. Yeah, I'm hoping to get back in. Now that you did that, I'm going to have to look at all mine too when I take them apart to make sure those bushings aren't standing proud. Make sure we get a nice flat surface in there. I'm going to use Craigie's Ultima, Permatex Ultima, see how that works out. I'm going to do it on the 136 and on the next 346 XP build I do, just to see, you know. I'm waiting for more Craigie's videos. I know he has some parts going, so I'm hoping that he can get back on and do some more stuff. But it was funny. Craigie, I talked to him the other day, just out of the blue. I called him, say, hey, how you doing? And he had commented on the beard, you know, and he started to grow one, and he had the whiskers for a couple of weeks, and it was starting to come in. But then he had to go for some like hazmat training or something, and you have to shave it off because the masks, the oxygen masks and things you use for like confined space and stuff like that, you can't have a beard. You have to have it. So I was like, So in his next video, when he doesn't have a beard, I don't know. I'm not going to shave it yet because I usually like to keep it for the winter because I do most of my work outside, and it does keep you warm. It really does. But it was funny, Matt, just Live Aid. I think it was Live Aid. And I swear to God, you know, hand to God, Simon, was it Simon LeBouf or something? The guy from the English band. I'm trying to think what his name is. Duran Duran, the lead singer. Maddie, he's your clone. If you look back in 1984, Band Aid, when they did their video, look and see when he's next to the guy from Wham singing. He's got your face. He looks like he could be your twin brother. It was so funny. I'm watching my video. I go, there's Matt. There's the doc. He's in Band Aid. It looked just like you. It was so funny. So look at the Band Aid video in 1984 and look where you see, what's his name? The guy from Wham and the guy from Duran Duran singing. He has your face. He has the 80s hair. He's got a lot of hair, but he's got your face. So it was funny. You know, it was definitely fun. You got to check it out, you know. All right. Hey, Maddie, I saw a saw in one of the papers yesterday. $390, nice shape for $275. I don't know. You think I should go for it? If he still has it, who knows if he still has it. It was a $390 in a real nice shape. Didn't really have a lot of hits on it wherever it was on, but he said he wanted like $275 for it. Sounds like it was a great price, you know, because I know a $390 is a decent saw, you know. Just curious. Husky $275. Yeah. Did you see that ad? There was a guy on there. I don't know if it was Craigslist or Facebook. I've been seeing a lot on the Facebook Marketplace, especially down by me. Lots of stuff on the Facebook Marketplace, especially if you're selling something. You put it on Facebook Marketplace, in 5 minutes you get 100 responses. It's crazy, you know. Yeah, that's okay. Maybe we'll see. We'll see if I make enough money this weekend, it's still available, you know. Like I said, most of the stuff now I'm up to six or seven of the 350, 357, 359, that series. I've got my 262. I've got the let me see. I've got 2 or 3 350s. I got the 340. I got a 357, a 359, 262 XP, 346 XP. I think that's, and 4 or 5 of those 136s. So after meeting you a year ago, thank you. I now have 12 saws. But anyway, it's a disease. It really is. But it's fun. It's not that expensive. It's fun. I love tinkering. And I think you hit it on the head, Maddie. You see a lot of mechanics out there that can take apart nuclear generators and nuclear power plants, and you give them a chainsaw, and it's like, you know, it is different. It's definitely a different animal, and you have to really know what's going on. You have to know two-stroke theory, and you know, just something as simple as you grab a saw, and the first thing you do is you pull the muffler. What's it look like in there? Has it been straight gassed? Is there scoring? Has it had a lean run out? Has it been run hot? You know, things that a year and a half ago, before I met you and these other people, I didn't really know a lot about, because you know, when people brought me something to fix, I never pulled a muffler. I would pull my hair out trying to get it to run right. I said, why isn't this starting? Well, it's not starting because the rings are all smushed in there because of carbon or because of straight gas. Well, a year later, I mean, you and the rest of the guys out there have enlightened me where I can do a lot better job of servicing the two-stroke stuff. You know, I was more of a four-stroke guy for 20 years, but you know, as of last year up to now I think I'm pretty darn good at the two-stroke stuff. Yeah, I tell you. And what's funny is, I don't know if you've watched Iron Horse's video on his porting theories and all that stuff, but some guys do it differently than you. The way some will start at top dead or bottom dead, do their numbers from there. Some will start from, intake to exhaust or blow down. They'll start from there, and their degree, you'll say 108 and they'll say 72 or something like that, and people don't realize what that is. And I think a two-stroke was on the other day. You'll say 108 and they'll say 72 or something like that, and people don't realize what that is. And I think a two-stroke was on the other day asking me if I'd read Gordon's Two-Stroke Tuner's Handbook, and I have read most of it. I don't have a problem with it because I have a mechanical engineering background, so the theory of it, I took thermodynamics in college, so I can understand flame kernel and propagation and all that. I know what they're talking about. But to the layman, and like you said, to even great mechanics, it's tough to comprehend if you don't really know it or get into it. Duration versus overall, things like that. Yep, absolutely. But it's fun because looking at Iron Horse with that Frankensaw he has now, he's got the John Sered saw with the 066 head on it, where you look at the Johnson Rood, closed chamber versus closed port versus open port, the way it works, it's like, how the heck is that going to even work? Let's see. I'm dying to see it run. I mean, I'm excited about it. I mean, it's funny. I'm excited about a Frankensaw, but it's fun. I mean, like you said, you have parts and it's like you're putting together, a jalopy, but it's not a car, it's a saw. So, and like anything, Maddie, I know you get into it too. When I build my engines, that first pop when it runs, it's exhilaration. I mean, you feel great. And then especially with a saw, it pops, you take it outside and you're able to cut noodles with it. Oh my God. It's the greatest feeling. It really is. It's just such satisfaction. That's why I do it. I love to solve problems. It's what I do all day at work. When machinery breaks down, my job is to get my guys out there to fix it, especially if we don't know what the problem is, troubleshooting. So that's why getting into the saws like I have in the past year, it's fun. And I thank you for that, Maddie. I think you helped me out a great deal. But James chimed off later. I guess I don't know if you saw, all his relatives were over. And I guess he's getting the surgery tomorrow morning, 7:00. No, yeah, Friday morning. And he said hopefully he'll be on to talk to us on Saturday. So all the prayers, everybody, prayers out to James Faust, wishing him a speedy recovery. Definitely a speedy recovery. Yeah, I was thinking about you the other day too, Matt. Monday, I got to go back to the dentist. My 6-month checkup. Every 6 months, I got to get a bunch of cookies for them. I always bring them cookies. So, and it's funny, Matt, I've had the same dental office since 1968. So what's that, 50 years? I've been going to the same dental office. I've been through 3 dentists in that office. The 3rd dentist just retired. He teaches at UConn. I think I told you, Kravitz, Bob Kravitz, real nice guy. Teaches at UConn on Fridays. He just retired, supposedly, and we got a thing in the mail. And there's one of his students supposedly took over the business, a young lady. So I'll get to meet her on Monday and see how she is. So the tradition continues in the same office, but I'm on this will be my 4th dentist in that office. So we'll see. All right. I've had enough. It's been actually an hour, 58 and a half minutes. It's been an hour I've been on. I think I've exhausted my talk. So thank you all for chiming in. Maddie, as always, thanks for all your help, and happy Thanksgiving to all. Be safe. Oh, Maddie, quick question. I've got a friend of mine down here. I just serviced a thrower for him. They're having hydraulic company come in because their property borders hydraulic property. They're going to cut down a bunch of hardwood trees, and they want to know if I want to buck all the logs. They don't want to pay someone to do it, but I'm just wondering if you'd ever be interested in coming down and cutting some logs. So let me know. All right. I don't know if it's in Monroe. It's literally where we met at that gas station a year ago. It's literally, oh gosh, probably 3-4 miles from there where the property is. And the lady says she just wants the stuff cut up. She doesn't care if it's taken away, but she just wants the tall trees cut up after they cut them down. So let me know if you're interested. Maybe we can get some guys together and test out some saws. So, all right, that's it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys like, subscribe, tell your friends, and get me up to 1,000 subscribers so I can give away that tachometer. And again, happy holidays. Be safe. Enjoy your weekend. I hope to see all you guys over the weekend with some more content. So that's it for me, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.